Hello, everyone. Today I'd like to start with news from within Russia and then work my way over to other countries. And this might not seem relevant, but hear me out. So, Russia's Duma, which is like the equivalent of their parliament, was stunned to discover that Russians spend more money on occult services than they do on groceries, all the while complaining how much more expensive and less available groceries have become due to sanctions. My question to them, to the members of the Duma, as they're trying to figure out why mass media has been overrun by magicians, astrologers, fortune tellers, and so on and so forth. Why are you surprised? First of all, you control the media. Second of all, what did you think was going to happen if you started replacing, for example, bus stops with prayer booths? A real thing, I'm not joking. And if you started canceling physics at the universities and replacing it with Bible studies? Also a real thing. When you have the likes of Professor Dugin, look him up, guys. I want to know who his drug dealer is and what he's on, because that has to be some good shit. Because he is the one who says that laws of physics are an illusion, that Jerusalem and Moscow are historically the same city, that Russians built Egyptian pyramids. I mean, it's a lot. He's written 70 books. So, yeah, more of that kind of nonsense. Why are you surprised when that is happening? Religious fanaticism and engagement with all manner of occult nonsense has been rampant in Russia. So it's not helping anything. You know, soldiers who go to the Ukrainian front with various protective crosses, icons, amulets, etc., still get killed. You know, flying over the natural disaster areas with priests and icons doesn't help. The disasters still happen, like the flooding they had last spring. So maybe like fix problems inside your own country before you go invade another one, and try fixing non-existent problems there. Just a suggestion. Zelensky keeps putting his hope into the fact that Trump is unpredictable and that would help somehow resolve the war. I don't know why he would think that. Such things require dedication, discipline, extensive knowledge and understanding of the situation in the region, knowledge of history, and so on and so forth. Trump has none of those. So, meanwhile, of course, there is the buzz from the shutdown of natural gas from Russia across Ukraine into Europe. Most of Europe, including Moldova, are actually reacting fairly favorably to this. The only parts that are not so happy about it are Slovakia and Transnistria, both of which are notoriously pro-Russian. Slovakia had even threatened to use their influence to cut off aid from the European Union to Ukraine. And once again, my question is, European Union, when you have members that are directly sabotaging your policy and are expressing their support for terrorist states, why are there no ramifications? Like being kicked out of the European Union? Just asking. Russians managed to cause yet another environmental disaster when a drone attack in southern Ukraine had caused a massive spill of sunflower oil into the southern Buk. So that's like to be added to a very long list of environmental disasters caused by Russia on Ukrainian territory. Whether Ukraine will ever get compensated for all of this, I wouldn't hold my breath. Most of the military action right now is focused around this, a small town of Pokrovsk in eastern Ukraine. Once again, while it's true that Russia has been making progress and has taken more of Ukraine's territory, this is another one of those times where it really is costing them. And it demonstrates basically their complete and utter disregard for human lives. Both Ukrainian lives, because there's still civilians there in Pokrovsk, and their own lives, because they're losing up to 1,000 people every day. So as of right now, Pokrovsk is without power. The electrical grid has been pummeled by Russians for so long, it's a surprise that it didn't go down until now. A lot of people are going to ask, why people don't just get out. The problem is where they are, there is no safe way to get out. So this has been an issue for a lot of the areas in Ukraine that are located close to the front lines. Russia refuses to guarantee safe passage to civilians trying to evacuate. We've had numerous occasions where bus routes or railroad tracks were attacked while the transport carrying civilians was traveling there. So, considering where these folks are, with Russian troops literally on the doorstep for them, they have nowhere to go safely. They have no way to go anywhere safely. There's no way to airlift them. There's no way to drive them out. The only way for them to try would be to walk out. And I don't need to tell you how dangerous that is under the bullets, under the bombs in the middle of the winter. This is what we know now, that there's been 138 attacks across the front yesterday, and Russia lost once again over 1,000 people.